Hello, family. Pastor Matt here. I just want to take a few minutes of your time to talk about things that are coming up, a few more specific details as we approach June 14th when we reopen for our Sunday morning worship service. A few details about that, including social distancing. We will also ask you to bring a mask and plan on wearing the mask. This is for the safety of all that show up for the time being. And especially when we're singing, there have been studies shown that when people sing, that it projects moisture droplets that the virus can travel in just as much as if you were sneezing or coughing. And so we want to be sensitive to that. We want to be mindful of that, and we want to be wise. And so the congregation we're going to be asking people to wear masks while we're singing. I know it's not ideal, but please be prepared to bring a mask for when we meet. Also, there will be no children's ministries on Sunday mornings, which means no preschool and no nursery. This means that children will be in the service with us the whole time, and that's going to be adjustment for all of us. And so plan accordingly. And this means that Sunday school volunteers, also no Sunday school for children's grades 1 through 4. So all children's ministry will not be in effect at this time. We will continue to monitor things moving forward and come to a good agreement when we're able to get all the Sunday school teachers and to see where things are at. But we want to be slow as we phase in. And so we think that this is a good step to hold off on children's ministries for now, okay? But we'll definitely continue them as soon as we can. Also, for those who either choose to stay at home or feel necessary that they need to stay at home at this time and not be in the worship setting, that we will also be streaming the service live. So it will be viewable online, just as it has been these few months. But we're going to be streaming it live on Sunday morning for those people so that you can still connect with us even if you're at home. All right. And also, leading up to that, the church needs to be cleaned. The building, the facilities itself needs to be cleaned. And so if you are willing and able to come in and do a particular spot or something like that to help out with the cleaning, to be ready for the 14th, please contact the church office. We would, as many of you know, we do not have a cleaner that we hire to come in. We all pull together to keep this building and facilities clean and presentable. And we want it to be clean enough for anybody who wants to come on Sunday, June 14th or later, that we provide a safe and hospitable environment for them to come and worship with us. We also want it safe for our family. And we care about all the members of the family. And so we want that. So that's another reason why we need to clean the building. So if you are willing and able, please contact the church office about that. At the end of June is on June 28th, Sunday, June 28th, that's our next Great Commission Sunday. And we are going to be taking up a faith promise cards where you will you're going to seek the Lord and ask Him, what amount does He want you to trust Him with to give to overseas missions through the Great Commission Fund of the Christian and Missionary Alliance. And so I just want you to know to be in prayer about that, to be seeking the Lord as to what He would lead you as an individual or as a family to give. And let's trust God to give big, to challenge us to really trust Him, to ask above and beyond what we think we can do. And let's trust Him for a faith-stretching amount, because He is God and He will provide. Remember Matthew 6:33, that was central to my series of messages on getting down to business, and that is, seek first His kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things will be added. You know, God rewards those who seek first His kingdom. He blesses. I'm not saying it's blessing of financial blessing, overwhelming or anything like that, but God meets you where you're at, and He is able to provide when we commit ourselves to more than what we think or feel that we can give, but we trust Him for it. And so I just encourage and exhort you to consider giving, how you might give to the Great Commission Fund to help reach the unreached. And again, that's June 28th is the last Sunday of June, is our next Great Commission Sunday. The last thing I want to leave you with is really a time of reflection. You know, we have had a few months where things have really slowed down. Lives have really slowed down. Things have been canceled, activities canceled, and many of us have been stuck at home. And I've heard some stories, not necessarily from people from here at Living Hope, but stories of where people have really valued the slowdown, and they've benefited from it as a family, and they've been able to draw closer and spend more time together, when before they were full of activities. And this is what I want to encourage and exhort you in, is that things are starting to get back up to speed. And I imagine that our culture is itching to get back and to return to the normal pace. Now, some of that is economically motivated. There's nothing wrong with that. But the challenge for us as Christians, as followers of Jesus, is to discern and to ask for wisdom about what is good about our American culture and what is not so good. What is conducive for coming together as a family and being close as a family, which is central to Scripture, of being a family and being together as a family and having a slower pace of life. God does not call us to run ourselves ragged. And so I want to encourage you and exhort you that as we're leading up to this time of things coming back online, so to speak, and the pace of life returning back to maybe what it once was, is for you to sit down as a family and think, okay, what have we benefited from this slowdown? And how can we make sure that we keep this way of life, this slower way of life that allows us to be more connected as a family and more connected to God? Because otherwise, if we are not proactive, we were just going to slip back into the American way of life that is busy, always busy, looking for the next thing, thinking how we can shorten time frames so that we can make time for other things. And yet we just pack our lives full, and we really lose sight of God and being close with Him and being present with Him and our family members. And so I just don't want us to miss this opportunity. Okay, this is an opportunity. The slowdown has been a gift from God, and it allows us time to really sit and think, boy, what kind of pace of life are we living? And I want to encourage you to take this moment and say, okay, even when things get back, this is what we're going to keep as part of our rhythm of life, to make sure that we do not run frantically around the way our culture tends to do. So I just want to leave you with that. I want to leave you with that prayer and blessing. You know, that is closer to a kingdom way of life, a kingdom culture, to think about how we can be countercultural and not get swept up in the speed of American life. But let us live in the rhythm that God has called us to, one that is conducive for us drawing closer to Christ, not only as an individual, but as a family, and also as a body of believers, a church, so that people might see Jesus clearly through us. I'm praying for you. God bless you, and thanks for watching.